it's my duty to welcome all of you to attend this seminar. From this attendance, I can see it's going to be a good topic because I find some new faces. This training program we have been doing since 2011. So now the topics has changed, and with different, this interest to fill the different interest of our, our members and non-members. So now today I can see some new faces. I think now we are attracting more people and more interest of this our members and non-members. First of all, on behalf of Kenya Overseas Chinese Association, I would like to express our thanks to FKE, this Federation of Kenya Employer, NHO, our Norwegian counterpart, NHO, and CEC, China Enterprises Confederation. In the past 4 years, we have worked together, organized similar this program, I think over 10 times. The field has covered the labor relation, labor laws, motivation, and HR development, and work safety, and related. Even last year we had some very good topic, which attracted so many our Chinese people here. We talked about work permit, and also our because of the situation of security. So we had a training on the security and how to protect our working place.
We are here again to discuss the standards regime in this country, and I'm very grateful to the Kenya Bureau of Standards for availing themselves and agreeing to give us the technical input into today's session, because they're the ones who know their stuff. You have very senior people who know the standards regime in this country who will be sharing with you. I hope you'll be free to ask your questions and to understand why is it that Kenya demands certain standards and what it is you're supposed to do as a business person to comply with those standards. So this is just one of the many topics we've discussed before, and Mr. Gao spoke about them, so I will not go into those details, but please let us know if there are other areas of interest that you want us to put together a program for, so that we can help you. That is really our main objective. Since we started this program in 2011, the objective was to deepen the relationship between Chinese enterprises in Kenya and the local community with the help of the Federation of Kenya Employers, because that is what we do. If we work together, I believe that we will continue to iron out the issues that may come up as you do business.
I represent the Confederation of Norwegian Enterprise, NHO. And NHO is the main employer and business organization in Norway. We have around 23,000 member companies. We are a small country, only 5 million people, but we represent most of the private sector companies in Norway, both the small ones and the big companies. We are a non-governmental organization, which means that we are completely private, and we exist and we work only because our member companies. So NHO, we work to ensure the favorable business environment where companies can develop and strengthen their competitiveness and profitability. Our goal is to have a sustainable economic growth and better living conditions for the society at large. So employers' organizations like NHO, like FKE and CEC from China, we are organizations that promote the collective interest of business for all sectors and for all sizes of companies. The core business of an employer's organization is to advocate on behalf of the business community for change of policy that will ensure an economic environment conducive to enterprise creation and development. So through their role in conflict solving and negotiations, employers' organizations also play a key role in avoiding long-lasting labor conflicts, which are harmful both for the economy and for the society. So in addition to the core business, employers' organizations are important stakeholders on topics such as governance and anti-corruption, gender and climate. NHO, we work, of course, mainly for national questions and our companies in Norway. We have some Chinese companies investing in Norway, and they've also become members of NHO in Norway. We don't have any Kenyan companies at the moment in Norway, but we are sure that they will soon come. And then we hope they will become members of NHO in Norway.
那就节省时间，我就直接中文说了。这本来是还要翻到英文，那就算了。很高兴啊，从北京来到这里了，参加今天的研讨会。这个首先呢，我代表中国企业联合会对研讨会的举办表示热烈的祝贺，对各位企业代表的到来表示欢迎，对挪威工商总会，还有包括我们驻这个肯尼亚的大使馆，对这个项目给予的支持也表示感谢。特别是呢，我们对肯尼亚雇主联合会、华人华侨联合会，包括中肯经贸协会为组织这次研讨会所付出的努力呢，也表示感谢。中国企业呢，自上世纪80年代进入肯尼亚以来呢，特别是近几年逐步发展，树立了良好的信誉。随着这个为肯尼亚的基础设施的建设和经济发展做出了很多的贡献。随着中国“一带一路”战略的实施，肯尼亚作为海上丝绸之路上的重要节点，一定会有更多的中国企业来肯投资办企业。所以呢，进一步提高我们的适应能力是十分必要的。中国企业联合会在挪威工商总会和我驻肯使馆的支持下，自2011年起呢，和肯尼亚的雇主联合会共同开展中挪企业共同开展了中挪非企业社会责任项目，与华人华侨联合会、中肯经贸协会协同配合，多次成功举办推动中资企业在当地建立和谐劳动关系、履行社会责任等相关研讨会和活动，取得了积极的成果。我相信本次合规经营的研讨会也一定会一如既往取得圆满的成功。在这里呢，我也要向大家呢特别推荐肯尼亚的雇主联合会。
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as it has been indicated during the program, my name is Jonah Bones. I'm the Director for Quality Assurance and Inspection at the Kenya Bureau of Standards. Now, before I go to the presentation, I make a few remarks that I feel are good for this occasion. And the first remark is that we appreciate this setup of the FKE in organizing this, because in this forum, I have met a number of Chinese who have come to my office or to Kenya Bureau of Standards looking for solution regarding to do with business. And I could see from when they come, I do not know what is the role of the standards which has an impact in their business. So FKE has done a very good job, and I hope that from this forum, either we shall get less Chinese coming, less in the sense that they will understand the role of standards and do it right wherever they are, or more because they have been sensitized to be made aware of what the standards are all about, and therefore they want to come for more and find out what the standard does. Number 3, out of this forum, ladies and gentlemen, I believe the investors, the way it is, Chinese Investors Forum, they are going to appreciate the importance or the role of standard in doing business. And for KEBS, you recognize you will gain from 2 perspectives, which will be very important. the local business community from China who are engaged in either manufacturing or doing the business will see how the standards are applied to the local products. Then we have the component dealing with importation of goods from China. That one also, the importers who are here or the business community are going to benefit in understanding what is the role of the PIVOC program in facilitating the importation of goods from China. So really this forum is very important for the participants in knowing where does the standards come in local business entrepreneurship, whether it is manufacturing or trading. And two, for the importers or even the exporters from China, what is the role of standards? What is the application of standards in what we are calling the pre-export verification of conformity program? Ladies and gentlemen, just as FKE is important in the employee and the employer, the role of the human component in business, Kenya Bureau Standards is important in business in terms of the role of standards in doing business. And I hope that at the end of the presentation, we shall appreciate the role of standards in doing, because when you talk about business, or employers organizing, you are talking about people working and producing an output. That output is what the consumers buy or pay for, and that output now, there are expectations from it. It needs to meet the requirements in such a way that the consumers are satisfied with the product. So the role of standards in doing business is very crucial because it is what is governing what the customer will buy from you, and therefore you need it to get it right first time, so you have no problem with the regulator. Now, that was outside my presentation, but I believe that when I finish the presentation, your mind will be clear. Those who are doing the local business within here, you will appreciate what does the standard contribute to your business, such that the consumers will buy your goods with comfort. Those who are importing, you will understand the application of what we call the PIVOC program, which has brought a number of Chinese here to my office or to our office seeking certain clarifications on what they should do. So let's just be patient and understand what is Kenya Bureau Standards in terms of doing business and in terms of what you need to facilitate you doing business. I'm sure the Chinese investors around must have heard about Kenya's pillar of the Vision 2030 of raising the income to middle income, and your role in that Vision 2030 cannot be overemphasized because your business community, what you are doing has an input in raising the income of Kenya from low to middle income. So you need to understand that Vision 2030, especially the economic pillar, where the standards helps you to produce goods that will generate employment and will be satisfactory to the consumers. Now, certification of products to quality marks is aged on standard. I think that one I've captured. Then international regional participation. KEBS is a member of the ISO, and that means we are participants at the international level in the formulation of the standards we're talking about. And you see, as I told you, purposes of trade, standards are dynamic documents which are used to facilitate trade, not just in Kenya, but even in the region and even international. So you cannot downplay the role of standards in facilitating trade and doing business. And as an investor, you are also a business person, therefore the issue of compliance cannot be overemphasized. Now we have, under the East African Community SKMT Act, has been playing major role in the harmonization of standards. I think I've talked about the regional standards, and regional standards are standards that are applicable in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, East African member states. Regional trade, I could say that in what we call the harmonized standards, So far, we have about 400 East African community standards that have been harmonized, and here KEBS has been playing a major role in the harmonization of standards. By the way, ask yourself, why is regional trade important? If you are a manufacturer or a business person that is doing business in the region, what it means is that your customers are not just the Kenya population, but the regional population. And anybody doing business would want bigger customers so that your goods can be bought as quickly as possible by a bigger market. The harmonization of standards, I think I've talked about, East Part states. Basically, and for regional trade, regional standards, the 100 that have been harmonized, take place. Section, I think, 8 is clear that if you are producing, then the standard exists, then the process you need to follow before your product is certified. Now, counterfeit goods, I'm going to talk briefly about that, but you will realize that counterfeit goods are governed by another arm of the government called Anti-Counterfeit Agency, ACA. So ACA is a government department dealing exclusively with counterfeit goods. Substandard goods, KEBS. Counterfeits, now, sometimes the counterfeit goods also comply to the requirements of the standard. But that does not stop them from being counterfeits, because the counterfeit is defined as somebody who has stolen the intellectual property of the owner. The company can have their own standards. You remember I told you there are manufacturer standards or company standards. The company standard will help you in meeting the requirements for the documents required for the ISO. ISO standard for certification is a general standard that is not focused for a particular company. But in your own company, if you have your own internal standards, you have your own internal audit records, this will help you be certified quicker than somebody who does not have any company standards, does not do any audits, does not keep any records. It means you will help get a lead time in the certification.
So if they have the quality management standards, the process is faster.
The process is faster. It means you're already not starting from zero, but you are starting from some available documents.
Thank you, Mr. Zhong. As the biggest market in Eastern Africa, I think Kenya has various and numerous trading shows annually. So I want to know, should I bring this certificate for the samples that I bring to the trading show? Trading.
Exhibition.
Yes.
So you're asking if you can bring the certificate you use at exhibitions?
I mean, should I bring any certificate for the samples I bring to exhibition?
For the exhibitions, do you have problems? Because some things for exhibitions are normally given some waiver, they can be brought, and then there's a guarantee that you will take them back. So that also takes place. But bringing the certificates for what you are exhibiting is just an added advantage for people to know that what you are exhibiting has been tested and is performing like this. But for KEBS purposes, they may not have mind, because what we rely on as Kenya Bureau of Standards are the samples that we have taken ourselves, and we can say we tested them at random. When you bring, there's always a possibility that you may have selected the best among that lot, and those are the ones that you have tested.
China Enterprise Confederation come here to implement the program together with FKE. Our purpose, as we said before, is to help the Chinese enterprises here to do responsible business and to realize sustainable development. But we come here this time with another mission or a task. So I'd like to ask for your help. I mean, the Chinese enterprises here. So this is for Chinese enterprises here. I will speak in Chinese so that to be clear. Is that okay? 我们这次来呢，其实还是有一个任务的，就是我们这个当然我们是在挪威工商总会的支持下，跟肯尼亚雇主联合会一起来做这个项目。我们计划要做一个投资非洲劳资关系指南。我们知道呢，当然这个其他方面的事情，包括今天讲的这个标准的事情，都是对我们在这儿的经营是非常重要的。我们做了一个初步的调查呢，也了解到，在这儿的中资企业的劳资关系也是非常重要的部分。如果处理的不好的话，可能会带来一些不必要的成本。所以呢，我们想做一个这方面的一个指南，也就是说为在这儿投资的中资企业以及打算要来这儿投资的中资企业提供一个比较简明扼要的一个指南。所以呢，我就想请大家呢，如果可以的话就是把你们认为在这儿经营过程当中遇到的最大的劳资关系方面的问题是什么？你们需要这儿的FKE 就这样的雇主组织能够提供什么样的帮助就这么还有一个就是有一些企业呢可能已经遇到了一些劳资关系问题，当然而且它成功的解决了，就这3个方面，你们有这方面有什么经验，有什么问题能够给我们这个分享一下？但是今天呢，可能就是说因为时间关系来不及了，就是我可以留下我的联系方式，也可以呢，你们也可以把这个事情呢告诉这个高委，或者呢是我们这个肯中经贸协会的，像这个罗先生或者其他人也可以。
This workshop is organized by FKE, and from the explanation, they do bring the Chinese investors to understand the requirements for doing business in the country. Now, for this particular today, they wanted the requirements with respect to Kenya Bureau of Standards or the role of standards. So the gist was the Chinese investors in Kenya were to understand the role of standards and the role of Kenya Bureau of Standards in doing business in Kenya. So in that context, we came to enlighten them or to make them understand the importance of Kenya Bureau of Standards and the importance of standards in doing business in Kenya. And this is applicable both for the local entrepreneurs of the Chinese, those who are local manufacturing, what they need to do, for example, the importance of certification.